Hello, here's a very simple touch game in about 20 minutes. Okay, let's get started. So we create two actors, a control, it's going to be for the background tasks of the game, and a finger player, finger actor, that's going to follow where we touch on the device. So we constrain the finger's position to the same as where we touch. Press Option, drag it down to copy our behavior. Do the same for the Y, so we constrain the Y position to the touch position of Y. Also, we want this to disappear when we're not touching it. So we create a rule. So when the touch count is equal to 0, i.e. nothing's touching it, then it destroys itself. Then we go into the control, and all the control does is it spawns the finger actor when we do touch it or when something touches it. So we use the point with the touch count again, and when it's greater than 0 we then spawn our actor. Where do we spawn it? We spawn it in the positions where we touch it. So we again use the touch positions. Okay, drag the control so it's active in our game. Try it out. Disappears, good. Okay, now we want two other actors. We want a target actor, which we're going to press, and we're going to have a random shooter that shoots out the targets. So all the shooter needs to do is basically spawn the target. So drag the spawn behavior. Position. And we give it a timer, so it repeats this every 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds it's going to spawn the target. The position is going to be a random one. So we have our minimum as minus 200, maximum 200, and then we can have two expression editors open at the same time and simply drag between them. Sometimes a bit fiddly, but on long equations or expressions it does help. Okay. So all we want this to do is to destroy itself when it comes into contact with our finger actor. Since that follows where we press, then it's going to look towards that. When we press this actor, it disappears. And we also have a timer, because when we don't press it quick enough, we also want it to disappear. So we press Option and drag down the destroy behavior. Okay, try that out. Yeah, goes to the edge of the screen. We'll change that later. Okay, seems to work alright. Now we want another actor, and this one will be our explosion of a nice 8-bit effect. So we don't want a white blob, so we change the alpha to 0. So basically it's an invisible actor. But if we use particles, the particles will show. Okay, we'll have these at a random position from 0, we'll make it 360. Okay, and since it's the direction, it'll take those random numbers as angles. Okay, we also want the explosion to destroy itself after a couple of seconds. Then our actor will spawn the explosion actor when it comes into contact with the finger actor, like that. Okay. Let's change this a bit. A bit better. Get the idea. Okay, we make another actor and we call it display, so we can have like a score of how many we're hitting. We make an attribute and we make that an integer and we call it score, and that will record how many hits. So we drag that into our game. We don't want a white blob, but first we'll get it to display the text. We'll simply display score, simple, we'll have a white score. We don't want white on white, so again we'll change the alpha to 0, make the actor invisible, but the display will be seen. Then we need to, okay, so when we see an explosion, we add to score. So we'll put our score counter here. So we change the attribute. So we change score to what the score already is, and we'll add to that 5. Okay, so when we see it, when we see the explosion, we also add 5. Then when the actor destroys itself, before it destroys itself, we want it to -5, and we previously copied and just pasted in this behavior. So we just changed the plus to a minus, so we have a -5. Okay, so that seems to work alright. Now, the ones that it seems the display is going by itself, but you can't see it, is because some of the actors are being displayed, are being spawned off screen. So let's change that bit. Okay, so that should be a lot closer to the blue. Okay, on the X and Y. Okay, so now that's a bit better. These numbers can be played around with later, and the actual behaviours, what the actors do when they are spawned, can also be played with. Okay, now we've got a numeric value, but let's have a graphical value. So if you like, this could be a mini game. Again, we decrease. We don't make it invisible, but we do decrease the alpha. So this is an indication of how many targets we've hit. So we have we're using the width. So we change the attribute, the width, to 10, which is going to be our minimum, plus whatever the score is. Okay, and we want to do that within a loop. So put it in the loop. So the loop says while the attribute, the game, the score is actually less than 100. So 100 is our kind of maximum. So when it's less than 100, then we keep tabs on the width of the gauge actor, so it alters depending on the score. So we drag the gauge in. Okay. Now here's the nice thing about GameSalad. So you can see the gauge getting fatter and fatter as we hit, getting thinner and thinner as we don't hit. Okay, before I tell you the interesting fact, let's change the position. Okay, so rather than change attributes, so we option and drag that, we change the position. We change the X position. So we have our minimum, that will be our X position, and we'll make it, say, 50. then what we want to do is we want to divide the score by 2 and add that to our 50 and our exposition. So basically it'll stay still on the X, on the left, sorry, and then it'll just grow and shrink on the right. So now it looks like a gauge. Okay, so nice thing about GameSalad is that we can go into the game, the actors that we can drag another actor in, so you can, because we changed the alpha, you can see the old actor and the new actor together. And what we can do is we can give them, although they're the same base actor, we can actually give them separate properties by actually clicking within the actor in our game. So here we have the actor in our game, and it's got a padlock. So we change the alpha back to 1, and we change this actor to green, and it doesn't alter our original actor. So our original actor is still white with the same dimensions, and you can see them both moving together there, although they look different. But not only that, we can then go into our original actor and then we can change the padlock. Click on the padlock so it's unlocked, so we unlock the actor. Then we have this loop. We can make the loop behavior turn off, so it's no longer active, so the width will no longer behave. And just lengthen that out a bit to what we think will be our maximum, and then you can see that it doesn't in fact alter so although the two gauges are the same, the white and the green are the same actor, they behave and look differently. Okay. And basically that's it. A bit more playing about. You could have these the yellow target actors swirling around, moving around. The blue actor could actually move, so then it's like a proper random positioning. Lots of different things. I'll leave that up to you. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.